That was amazing. Thank you so much, Eliana. So let's talk a little bit now about tech, right? So again, I'm JC Gutierrez, older than former board member of Chile, or now co-founder and board member of Angeles. I'm also the managing director of Amazon Web Services for Latin America for the tech team. And super excited with that job and what Amazon is doing to transform Latin America, especially with startups. So we can talk about all that too. But do I have a clicker? Thank you so much. So the name of the talk is about Gen AI. But I wanted to give an angle, a different angle for what is Gen AI as a topic for executive and also board levels, board members. Co-founders could be also included in that category, because the conversation is a little bit interesting. So where we are with generative AI is that it is really in an amazing tipping point. Basically, because of the cost of data, the cost of compute, the cost of cloud, it is over the years becoming, very low, accessible globally. And in parallel, artificial intelligence has been evolving more and more, and the needs of a compute and data are now, mixing to the point that everybody can be using generative AI. So it's becoming a great moment and a tipping point. So just like internet and computers, they were evolving and made up an amazing transformation. Everybody's using a computer right now, right? Especially in our mobile devices. Internet is the same thing. What is going to happen with Gen AI is that everybody's going to be using Gen AI. Even we start noticing that today we call it Gen AI, maybe 5 years from now, we are not going to use that term anymore. We don't know. But Gen AI is really a subset of artificial intelligence. So, but what is Gen AI specifically? So Gen AI is a type of artificial intelligence that is able to create content based on models that the technology can use that are called the foundational models that have the capability to get a lot of data and create content, basically. And the way how they do it, we're going to chat a little bit on that, but the way how they do it is that they can create text, they can create video, music. A book can be created with generative AI. The next movie of Harry Potter can be created with generative AI using, the history. You can combine, music from different songwriters and create a new song that has a little bit of each one. So that is what Gen AI is able to do. And when you see the potential of this type of technology, it is actually evolving every day that we don't even know the whole impact that can cause. But it is for the long term. So one of the messages that I want to tell you today is that Gen AI is not a fuzzy word, it's something like, it's the metaverse that we were talking years ago, or, it's something that, 3D printing that is going to revolve. So it now is a subset of usage. Gen AI is going to be massive, and it's going to be actually for everybody, as I said. But AI, we have been using AI since the 1950s, okay, more or less, when it was a topic for universities, research, but artificial intelligence has been with us for many years. What happened with artificial intelligence is that it has been also evolving. And when we talk now about machine learning, which is a concept more recent, in the 1950s, even when I went to college, we were talking about AI with languages. We didn't talk about machine learning. We were trying to emulate what humans could do, but with different algorithms and different languages. Machine learning really took off when, again, the cost of compute became accessible, easier, especially with the cloud. But when we talk about machine learning, is one of the great examples is for example, to come here today, the mapping applications that will tell me, what is the best route to come. Right? So that is machine learning. It's learning about, the best route, traffic, It's learning about my condition. So that is machine learning, and we use it every day, and we don't call it artificial intelligence. It's with us. Now, deep learning, it is more recent and really became more a target of investment when faces started to be recognized, voices started to be recognized that in the past they took longer to implement. So when we talk about Alexa technology, Siri that we use in the cell phone, all that is it requires deep learning behind, because it's understanding our language, it's understanding and reasoning, emulating a reasoning of how we talk. So deep learning today, when we have an Alexa device, is already part of our life. Okay. So a subset of deep learning that is using neural networks and models is what we call generative AI. So the difference is the models are different because they can be for multiple usage. In deep learning, we have very specific models that are for very specific reasons, like a chatbot model or a model for language. They were different. And also the data sets, they were different. With Gen AI, you can reuse the same data, relabel it, and the models can have multiple purposes. So, but consider that what is happening with Gen AI, I made this analogy in a presentation also for Angeles some time ago. It is, remember, anybody use Netscape back in the days? Okay. So when Netscape came, actually Amazon, Netscape is if you think about working backwards and connecting the dots, one of the main reasons why Amazon became so popular is because you could buy books using browsers. So the technology that made internet accessible were the browsers, but internet was there. So I want to use this analogy because what happened with ChatGPT and applications that we are using with Gen AI that are becoming very popular, they are the Netscapes of Gen AI. So we sometimes we are tempted to confuse that the application is Gen AI. That ChatGPT is just one app, great app, but it's the top of the iceberg. So what is behind is security, data, a lot of things that they need to happen. And they will be evolving just like internet is not a browser. It's many things, cloud, data, networking, etc., that we know today. Same thing. Gen AI is not an application that we use to chat and create documents. It's going to be a lot of many other things. So, but what happened with now going to the executive discussions and the board level discussions is that it is not only a disruption in terms of technology, it's a disruption on people, jobs. What are we going to be doing? So Gartner is saying that at least 80% of the jobs that we know today will be impacted with Gen AI in a different way. Augmented work, making my job more productive, expanding my job to do different things that I couldn't do. So at least 80%. Now, when we talk about jobs that are involved in digital technologies, it is even higher. So, and that is today. So, but what happened at the board level? What are the views of the board members, founders, executive of companies? 45%, I'm sorry, 68%, and this is data from Gartner, 68% of our board members, they are really, I will say, concerned that they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the skills, and they understand that the technology maybe looks like it's going to be a big disruptor of their business. Okay. So it's like the status in the board is like, wow, we don't know what to do because we don't have the skills. Help us. Okay? Help us. 45% of the board members are saying that, okay, because we don't know what to do, let's experiment. Let's create some, POCs, go teams, businesses, IT, CTO, experiment this technology because it looks like it's going to be disruptive, but I don't know exactly what to do. And now, conversations at the board level, this is interesting data. So it is becoming more than cloud, than digital, that's security. So it's Gen AI. It's in every board meeting. What are we doing? Status, what happened? Bring Gartner here, bring experts and let us know what is happening. And finally, the other one is that there is an understanding, almost 50%, that the best way to use Gen AI is not a replacement of what I do, is a blended of my work as a human being, right? What I do, my expertise with this technology. So in that blending, I should be a better worker. Okay, and that looks like is probably the best trend. But going with the core capabilities of Gen AI, so we're talking about a summarization of documents, questions and answer Q&A, like we know in chat, translations, correction. Probably all of these things we could do it before in the other models, as I said. Yeah, this is not new that we can use technology to do that. What is new is that it is faster and with more capabilities. So, for example, translations. One of the foundational models, LLM models from Anthropic, for example, with the same application, can translate in more than 100 languages. So in the past, we probably have to have different applications and different models depending on the languages. So that's an interesting thing. And inputs and outputs, as we know it, text, it could be a book, could be an essay, images, okay, imagine that for a catalog, video outputs, code, and all together. Code is interesting. What is happening with generative AI generating code is that today we call it the code companions, so tools that can help me to do coding and be more productive. What is going to happen is that these tools will be generating code automatically and for different conditions. So imagine generating code for an IoT device or generating code for a car, and then learn about what is happening, and the tools will be learning by itself with the code and the program. So that's what is happening. So the impact is in every industry. What I'm finding in Latin America, at least, is 45% of the cases are in financial services. That's the industry that is asking and experimenting more with Gen AI. But we see examples with everything, like Moderna, for example, use AI and generative AI actually for the speed research of the vaccines. Automotive, that is happening with Volkswagen, for example, improving the supply chain globally. So many Formula One, and who else is a Formula One fan? Yeah? Okay, many coming to Miami again. So Formula One use data and AI in a lot of things, not only with the interface with customers, but at the design of the cars, how to improve even real time in the race. And a lot of that is AI, and it's starting to use Gen AI for better interactions with customers and with the fans. PGA is also doing the same. So the PGA Tour is going to evolve to have more Gen AI for every tournament, etc. So every industry does a message. We have many examples. And let me show you, see if this video works, with an example of how Gen AI can be used in financial services and insurance.
Can assist agents by automating note-taking, recommending real-time responses for quick, accurate problem solving, and providing concise summaries for calls.
Thanks for calling Wheels for Rent. My name is Alex. Whom do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
Thanks, Alex. My name is Carla. I'm supposed to pick up my rental car in 2 hours, but I need to cancel. Will I be charged a cancellation fee?
Nice to meet you, Carla. Let me check. You will receive a full refund minus a cancellation fee of $100 US.
Agent Assist draws on a library of FAQs and trusted knowledge sources to generate the best responses for your agents in real time. Whether it's helping cut ramp-up time for new agents or ensuring experienced agents have answers at their fingertips. By having a human in the loop, the risk of delivering incorrect statements is minimized. Once the call finishes, Generative AI can analyze the conversation transcript and automatically produce a summary, including the issue and outcome of the call. This can reduce the time agents and managers spend taking or reviewing notes. The summary also provides relevant key points when transferring contacts to ensure a smooth customer journey. Furthermore, conversational analytics and quality management can be powered by generative AI to review contacts and automatically populate scorecards, answering questions like, did the customer leave the call satisfied? As part of a pre-filled evaluation form along with rationale for each. Agent coaching or training opportunities can also be identified to further improve operations. It can also be used by supervisors and managers to analyze customer sentiment, identify high-frequency issues, and gain new insights at the aggregate level, or by diving deep into the details of individual calls.
So Amazon and has been working with machine learning and AI for many, many years now. You probably heard about Alexa, of course, the fulfillment centers. I don't know if anybody has used Just Walk Out in any airport or familiar with that. So this technology is also going to revolutionize retail and the way we get products. So basically, you go to a store, take it, and just walk out. So what happened with that is that in the entrance, like in this one here, you use your hand. So before it was the app, now it's your hand. It is recognized because you have to synchronize your hand with the app the first time. But once that is done, your biometrics in your hand allow you to enter to a store. And everything that happens in the store is with video, imaging, and AI. So you just get the product and walk out. So airports, Starbucks, a lot of companies are doing this more and more massive. And it's a great example of machine learning and AI. So I'm gonna probably go with this last one because of timing. How I'm with timing, David? Just checking. Perfect. So what we are hearing from customers, from boards and from executives is that technology is great, and this is probably one of the key messages that I would like you to take away. Technology is great, but the first one is the concern that I may have with data security. Is my data going, outside of my company? Is my data going to be accessed by inappropriate users internally, even in the company? How do I separate experimentation data and training data with, my IP, my intellectual property? So big concern there. The second one is I want different options. So why I need to have just one model or just one vendor? So I need different options. Maybe this model works better for English, but if I want to do a chatbot in Portuguese, not necessarily that's the best model. Okay, so how I have different options. Easy to use, not only at the end of the application, but easy to use to program, easy to use to configure and to integrate. Cost is a big component. What is happening in 2023, we saw the increase of the usage, but the cost also has been increasing a lot. So there is a big concern about cost, especially in the infrastructure. Responsible AI is another thing. How my application and what I do with generative AI will, take care of issues with racism, with inappropriate words. Imagine a use case where you have a chat and the user starts to say bad words to you, and then the chat answers you back, being empathetic with bad words too. So that is not a responsible AI. So that has to be taken care of the solution. And finally, how I create new applications and integrate what I have with the rest. So I was giving you an example of those stores. They use video analytics and video and machine learning. Generative AI is added to that. It's not replacing. It's added. So the AI solutions become more and more power. So just quickly, we're talking about 3 layers on this generative AI infrastructure. Hardware specifically to reduce cost, most specifically that have to be efficient. The second one is this layer to manage the different models. And the third one is the application. So I don't want to go deeper on this one. If you have questions, if you want to go with this, we're going to be around the whole day. So let me know. Some examples of companies that are using this: Accenture generative AI code whisperer, you can take this example for any big, developer company. They are reducing 30% of their cost of development. So when you talk about a big company, 30% of cost of development is a massive number. Okay? So another example is Salesforce and we call it, ISVs, internet providers, but this could be startups. This could be companies that are saying, okay, instead of building my application on generative AI, I can partner, with others, AWS, others, and say, okay, I offer this platform of generative AI through my solution. That's what Salesforce is doing for their CRM. Okay, and another great example is this company, Runaway, which is led by a Latino, Cristobal Valenzuela. I think he's Mexican. They say Runaway is a company behind Hollywood doing a lot of visual AI for movies. One of them anybody saw Everywhere, Anytime, Everywhere, Everything, Everywhere, All the Time, all at once. Thank you. So that movie has different scenes that are the images in the back are created by Gen AI. And this is the company that was doing that. The use case of this company is that the cost of infrastructure was becoming, super high, and with very specific infrastructure for Gen AI, they reduce, their cost and also make it the throughput 2 times than before. So let me close with a call out. If you haven't used this app, I invite you to do it today. And pretty easy. It's called partyrock.aws. You can create your own Gen AI app. Okay, pretty easy. So let me tell you what I did a few weeks ago. And if you are interested, I'll send you the link of the apps. Very straightforward. But I create an app to recommend me the best wine for any dish, prioritizing Spaniard wines and Argentinian wines. Okay, but the app basically, so I see users. So basically, pretty straightforward. You tell the application what to do, the expected outputs, and an application will be created. So I did that one, and the other one is to recommend me places where I go and travel, very often, and the best things to do in my trip, okay, during that weekend. And so specifically the moment that I'm there, and the app makes those recommendations. So take a look at it and try to create an app. It will take you 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, it's that easy. So what else to do if I'm an executive, board level, founder? Just not moving. Okay. So learn. Just take advantage of courses that are free, but invest in yourself and have your teams also learning more about generative AI. It is really going to be revolutionary. It is already. Use, as I said, Party Rock, but you can use others like Amazon Q and take a look at it, Code Whisperer. Second step, explore about the models. So if you have a use case that you are thinking for a chatbot or document translation, summarization of content, and you have use cases, explore what models will be more convenient. These models, they allow you to test and create environments to your teams also. And the third one is I start with a POC, proof of concept with use cases. So very specific use cases for you. But those are the 3 steps that I recommend to start moving, okay? And moving actually from that concern that you saw from Gartner that is at the board level to execution. All right. With that, so that's what I have today. So you can reach out. I'm going to be around. So thank you very much for the opportunity.